Welcome to the Night Shift Court podcast. I'm Pidge.
And I'm Mowen.
We are two shift-working fantasy book lovers and love nothing more than leaving reality behind for a bookish adventure.
Join us as we go under the mountain to discuss our favourite fantasy fiction tales and the authors behind them. Come with us to explore the stories, one shift at a time.
Hi, ladies.
Hi! Welcome back. Yeah.
Great.
It's novella time.
It is.
How do you feel about it?
I love me a little Christmas story, so I'm not sad.
Look how teeny it is.
It's so small, isn't it?
I do love me a blue cover.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yes.
Yep. No, very. I'm excited. Not a lot happens, but we can talk a lot about not a lot. Have you met us?
Have you met us? I think that this one, it says on the front, this is quite, oh no, stand by. That says a review on Mist and Fury, so this must be shit. Why would you have a review of Mist and Fury on this?
So the Mist and Fury has a Court of Thorns and Roses one. So it's like good things that people have said about the previous book for when you release it. Because imagine if you hadn't...
the previous one.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
So this must be shit.
It's real shit.
They're like, let's take it back 2 books.
Speaking of shit, do you smell?
I could use some deodorant. Today's episode dedication is to wild deodorant / refillable deliciousness in your bathroom. So if you don't know who Wild is, they're a sustainable B Corporation that produces sustainable products in personal care.
Love it. We love ourselves a bit of sustainability.
Don't we?
Yeah.
Green is good. So we've got deodorant, body wash, refillable lip balms, which is like fucking genius.
Yeah.
So their mission is to cut down on the millions of disposable / plastic crap that we accumulate in our bathroom and replace it with natural alternatives.
Yeah.
So all of the packaging is like bamboo, which is like compostable.
Yeah.
Everything is either recyclable or compostable.
Gives me the good vibes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the crux of it is the products work.
Yeah,
because,
okay.
sorry, if a natural deodorant isn't going to actually get rid of my stinkiness, then I'm not using it.
We don't want any sweaty Illyrians.
No, we don't. Well, or do we? So thank you, Wild, for being such a cool brand. Thank you for being our dedication for this week's episode.
Yeah, and a very special episode. So chapters 1 to 5 of A Court of Frost and Starlight. Let's get into it. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So we start off with Feyres eating her breakfast. I mean, love that.
And downing a cup of tea.
Yeah. Relate. She watches the snow fall onto the grass and the fence outside. So here we are, Christmas. It's winter. It's a white Christmas.
Delicious.
And she sends a little message to Rhys asking where he is. And she describes that message as fading into blackness, which is her sign for that he's nowhere near.
He is far away.
Yeah. She gets up and washes her dishes after breakfast.
I loved this, particularly because Nuala or Cara don't know. Irrelevant.
Yep.
She's already got her hands in pie.
Yes.
And she's like beckoning Feyre to give me the dish.
Yeah.
And
with her
Feyre's
like crummy, floury hands. Yeah.
And Feyre's like, I can do it. And she's like, oh, thank fuck.
Yeah. Yes.
The servant doesn't have to do it.
We've all been there when we've had like our hands deep in the bowl of like flour or whatever it is that you're trying to be a good mum and make your children some little snacks
that they inevitably won't eat.
And then they come over and need you to open something and you're like, you're joking.
Oh, can you fill my drink bottle up?
Yes. How many times a day do I fill up a drink bottle?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she washes her dishes. Sarah makes a point of saying that Nuala is alone.
Yes.
No sign of her twin. She mentions it twice in like the next chapter as well.
I didn't pick up on that, to be
Didn't
honest.
you?
No.
Okay. I am so sus.
Yeah.
Always.
I did love the mention of working for both Rhys and Azriel again.
Yeah, I think that she's setting up for something to happen here. So anyway, there's only one twin making the pie. And she informs Feyres some information about Solstice. So presents, music, food, and sometimes feasting under starlight is
Christmas.
how she just exactly what it is. It's Christmas.
Yes.
Feyre realises that she'll need to buy gifts for everyone, and I know that you are withering inside at the idea of gift giving being not your love language.
No,
You would hate Solstice.
it's not the giving, it's the receiving.
Okay, yeah. Is it now? Shall remember that.
Unless my secret Santa is Azriel.
Okay,
And then I will happily receive.
I can't get you Azriel, or maybe I can. Magic.
Do your worst.
Yeah. If I ever get pulled into a portal, I shall come back for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a good time.
Yeah. Yes. I will be loving myself sick for a while.
I will send you a message down the bond and it will disappear into blackness.
You'll know
and you'll be in a pocket realm having a gay old time with us.
Yes. I'll just finish with him first.
Sloppy second.
Yes, you're fine. You'll be right. Just don't think about it.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Focus.
Roger.
Right. Focus a little bit like Feyre because her room's an absolute schmozzle and she needs to focus up and fix that because I could not deal. So she mentions like clothes, papers, like weapons all over the place. Oh, no. Imagine having to get up and go for a wee in the middle of the night.
Tripping over
and you trip over the particularly wicked mace that Rhys has added to the collection of weapons in the bedroom. Like, there's a lot of sharp edges. It reminds me of
Lego.
Stepping
on Lego.
Yes, and Saw.
Oh.
Like in a house of horror.
Yeah.
And like, let's play a game.
Yeah.
And the game is my children leaving their fucking Lego all over the place.
It's what my daughter would call her room a bong site, B-O-N-G,
Oh my
because
God.
I say bomb site, but
Yes.
she doesn't.
No,
So
no.
I did love when she called her room a bong site the other day. I'm like, perhaps don't say that at daycare.
Yes, yeah. So we learn that Elaine is still living there amongst the filth. Nesta's moved out to the scummiest apartment she could possibly find.
Yeah.
It's the Clarendon Vale of Velaris. And Lucian has moved to an elegant apartment by the river to Sandy Bay. Yeah.
Definitely.
I was surprised to learn that he returned to Velaris and remains there.
Yeah. I think he can't not.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
his pool is too great.
Sure. He did return to Velaris with a black eye and a cut lip as well.
Many
and,
a bruise.
And I'm thinking, really, are we settling things with violence? Is that... God, men are dumb.
Yeah, look, they've got nothing better to do, don't they?
Honestly. Well, I think Tamlin has a lot better than many things he could do.
Do you think?
Yeah.
He's not doing anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, so she looks to the desk with the mess and she sees the huge stack of papers and she's like, High Lady of the Night Court, Defender of the Rainbow and desk. And I'm like, mate, I would be loving myself.
You would.
Living the absolute dream
I
of
can
being
imagine
High Lady,
you with
sorting
your
out that paperwork.
letter opener.
Yes.
You would, but you wouldn't have it as a bong site. You would have everything just so.
Never has an envelope been opened so beautifully.
Absolutely.
That is my version of porn.
Yeah.
Thank
you would
you.
probably use Truth Teller.
I probably would,
Yeah.
yes. I wouldn't have given Truth Teller back.
No.
That belongs to me now.
Absolutely.
It's a little bit like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard this recently from a paramedic, but if you touch the patient, it's yours now.
Absolutely.
Truth
That's what
teller,
people
I'd
say to the doctors on
Yeah.
the ramp. If you touch the patient, they're yours.
Yeah. Bye. So, yes, Truth Teller belongs to me now.
Yes.
And you can't Indian give. Thank you very much. So, Feyre was essentially the equivalent of shooed ushered away from all the volunteer projects that are happening, like the rehousing efforts in Velaris.
Yeah, the city hall full of volunteers.
Yeah.
Feyre can't buy a job.
Yeah. A little bit like when she tried to go to the village and they were like, no, curse breaker. I'm like, no. And she's like, fuck off.
Vamos, Feyre.
Again. Anyway, so Rhys finally replies. He'd left her on read for quite a while. And he's at Devlin's camp again.
Yeah.
Lord
The
Devlin.
pigsty.
So unfortunate that he survived the war.
Yes. They were saying, however, that, who would replace him, and it would probably have to be Cassian. And
Kill Devlin. Urgently.
But we'd want Cassian in Velaris. We don't want him at the dirty old pigsty.
No, he can do both.
Okay.
I'm confident he can multitask. If any man can multitask, it's Cassian.
I can't look at you in the eye at the moment.
Okay, fair. But Rhys has quickly GTG because Cassian's getting into it with Devlin and not in the kind of way that is good.
That we want Cassian to get into us.
Yeah. Good. So it was 9 a.m. and Cassian was already pissed. And that, I feel it at work. But it's 6:30 in the morning and I'm already pissed.
Yes, absolutely.
Already getting into it with whoever wants to
Crumble.
Yeah. Yes. Literally.
Yeah. So Rhys and Devlin are getting into it about the preparation for Solstice, and Devlin is carrying on about women's duties. Devlin, fuck you. Okay?
Yeah.
The men have 2 hands, Cassian says. Love this. They can help Solstice. The women can train. You need to get your mind out of 1922 and realise it's 2020 something. I don't know. What is this? What year are we?
So I once read that the worst thing you can do is ever question the timeline of an author's writing.
They don't have cell phones. They don't have, the internet and such. But I feel like Cassian is a sensitive new age guy and he wants like 50-50, gender rights.
Yes.
So he's advocating for the women. They want their 2 hours of training in the morning and everyone can help with the solstice preparation because it's just a fucking party.
It just makes me look at my brain really hard.
Absolutely. Rhys is mainly thinking about all of the things that he wants to do to Feyre.
I literally was like, what are you doing? He's so absolutely randy that Cassian asks him. He's like, oh, you're a bit on edge. Are you like, can you smell it? Or
he probably does give off a little bit of a pheromone.
The Sultan citrus pheromone.
Sultan citrus. He's like, fucked her there, fucked her there. Fucked
her.
Like want to fuck her there.
Like I get it, but he recalls that they were so desperate to bump uglies that they did it on the way down from the House of Wind. And he talks about climaxing to the sound of her laugh.
I would like to know what kind of cloak he used to cloak them as they were speeding through the sky. They do love the idea of voyeurism.
What's that?
When people watch you.
Oh.
So he was like saying that he'd cloaked them as if.
But he didn't.
But he was like, people could have seen if they wanted to, sort of thing.
Oh.
But also like, and I think he said something like it took some manoeuvring. I'm like, talk me through
the position.
Yeah, shall we get the diagram up again?
Was this A, B, C, D, E, F?
I really F dragging. I would really like to know the logistics about mid-air without the Airbus A380.
Yes.
Toilet cubicle, mile high club situation.
Open air.
Yeah, I need more detail, Sarah.
Yeah. I feel like it's a pants entirely off situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah. Did he magic them off?
He can do that. So I reckon he has. Yeah.
It's doable. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's not for me.
It's not for you. I can tell by the look on your face.
Yeah, it's not for me. But, good on you. But also, can we talk about want to get personal and talk about the fact that I don't think I could have an orgasm when the person who's there is laughing.
Yeah. So Feyres
I'd be
obviously
like,
finds
I'm
it funny.
sorry, what's funny?
Yeah, but I think he's just so...
I don't think it mattered if she was there or not. He was having an orgasm with
He
her.
was just masturbating with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So aside from all of the smut in Rhys's mind, there is distension brewing amongst the Illyrian camp.
Yes.
It's basically Cassian feeling bad for how many were slaughtered / maimed in the
Yes.
war.
Yes.
And Devlin makes him feel like an absolute C word about it.
He does, yeah.
It's not nice,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Devlin's not nice. He should have died.
He's a douche, isn't he? So other than that, Cassian's basically pining after Nesta but trying to make it look like he's not, and so subtly asks Rhys,
Yes.
what's going on? Because
Yeah.
Rhys is like, you will be there for Solstice, my
Yeah.
friend. I expect you to something days before Solstice. Two. And he's like casually trying to ask if Nesta will be about, and Rhys is like, yeah. Whether she likes it or not, she'll be there. She owes that to Feyre.
Yes.
And she will enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's
I
not doing what
specifically
you...
ordered her to enjoy herself.
And also, at this point, I'm thinking to Rhys, have you met Nesta? Like, she's not doing anything she doesn't want to do.
Is a vibe killer at a party.
Yeah,
Vibe
absolutely.
killer. There's no way she's going to add any value
No.
to Solstice celebrations at all.
No. And she's already gone downhill. We know that she's gone to Scum, Clarendon Vale.
Yes.
And she's not about to, sober herself up to come and have a prim and proper lunch with everyone for Christmas.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. They have a little cuddle.
I loved this.
Yeah.
I really did.
I was like, it's nice that they hugged, but also like the only trauma Rhys seems to be processing is that his mate is here and that they survived the war. And I'm like, what about the sexual assault of 49 years, Rhys? I think there's bigger issues for you to be worried about.
He has trauma blacked that out.
Yes, he has indeed. Has indeed.
Yeah.
Exciting. We get a Cassian point of view.
I almost squealed.
Yeah, yes.
I was like, finally something different. And I think that that's the point of difference with this novella.
Yeah. Well, we've only ever had Feyres and 2 of Rhys's.
Yeah.
So
It's different.
Yeah.
It's nice. Before we get Cassian's point of view, I did want to bring up that Cassian offers to be Santa.
what?
He's just trying to figure out his role in, like, he's keen to stay at the camp. And Rhys is like, no, you'll be coming to Solstice.
Yeah.
He's like, we could hand out gifts and things.
He's like a really like a 2025 calendar version of Santa. Like, you know how the firefighters do their calendar? That's that's his version of Santa.
Yeah.
The beard is Santa-esque. I
It
mean, not
is.
that he has a huge beard, but he definitely could. If any man can grow a beard, it's Cassian.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So, yes, his point of view now, and he's beating his great big wings.
Yeah, yes. He leaves the camp. He's done. So he waits for Rhys to go and see his man about a dog, and then he goes to leave, but he clarifies he doesn't winnow.
No.
He flies.
Yeah.
And we, again, have not seen Cassian winnow. We talked about that previously. We have seen as winnow.
Yes.
But we've not seen Cassian winnow. So I wonder if he does have the skill to winnow.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Anyway,
To be determined.
TBA. He flies high over the mountains and recalls the monsters that lurk in the steppes, which is the forest that you will remember that Feyre winnowed through to find Rhys when he was captured by Highburn that one time.
That one time.
That one time. And he flies to the sacred mountain.
Romiel.
Thank you. I don't even try anymore. Yeah. And he describes it as the heart of Illyria and the night court. Now, I'm going to sing you a song.
Should I take this off?
No. You know the movie She's the Man?
Yes.
And he's like, welcome to Illyria. Welcome. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
That is all I can think of. When they said Illyria, I was like, oh, here's this man at the border of the night court being like, welcome to Illyria.
So you think Cassian's singing this in his head?
No,
or?
I think they've employed him. Oh. I think we haven't seen him yet, but he's on the border of the night court welcoming guests.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
good.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So nobody is permitted on the slopes except for the Illyrians during the blood rite.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard a teeny tiny bit about the blood rite before.
Yeah.
But we start to get into more about it. I just assumed it was some sort of battle or like sparring circle situation.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot more.
Are we going to talk about it now?
No, I think we'll talk about the stone.
Okay.
So there's a big fuck off stone at the top of it.
Shiny.
Shiny and snow is everywhere except the stone.
Yes.
So it's obviously it's got a magic capability.
Oh, yes.
And also I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but there is a link here to House of Breath and Sky.
Oh.
Specifically for this stone. So I won't mention it, but for those who have read, you probably already know what the theories are around it.
Okay.
But the rite does occur every spring when 3 stars appear above its peak like a crown, which we all know is the night god symbol. So there you go.
So cute.
Yeah. The novices are dropped to different locations with their wings bound, magic bound, and only the clothes on their backs, and they have to try and touch the stone. It's giving Hunger Games.
It is giving Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they are overdoing that whole franchise now.
Are they?
Yeah, I saw an ad for another one the other day. I was like,
No, I haven't read the books. I've seen the movies, but I've not read the books. So.
I haven't read them either. I do like the first 3 movies with the Katniss Everdeen, but that's it. The rest are just
Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer.
So basically no one knows where this stone came from, how it got there, what the situation is with it. But he flies past it and nods his respect to the stone as he continues on.
Like a church.
A little bit religious for my liking, honestly. And he flies to the dilapidated remains of a camp, which happens to be the camp in which he was born. We learn, and I sort of feel like we already knew a little bit of this, that he had returned and dealt with the people who were responsible for his mother's suffering. You remember she was a laundress, was she?
Something like that.
Like in a really shitty camp, was a child of rape.
Yes.
Yeah. So they wouldn't tell him what they did with her body. So he basically tortures and kills them all. And, good on him. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he admits to himself that the reason he pushes for the women of Devlin's camp to fight and to be included is that so those women don't end up like his mother.
I love that. That's why he's,
That's his motivation.
feminist man. I love it.
Yes, yeah.
Go Cassian.
Yeah. So we come back to Feyres' point of view now.
Yep. So her and Rhys host a weekly open audience at the House of Wind where people can come and ask for things that they need. Tithe much?
Yeah, a little bit.
The other way?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
So she goes for a walk through Velaris.
Whoville. What? She goes for a walk through Whoville.
What's Whoville?
Have you never seen The Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
No.
Oh, my.
But
honestly.
I feel like, so I love Christmas, right?
Yeah, yes.
So why would I watch something about
you
hating Christmas?
No, it's not. It's
I
not
know,
about hating
but
Christmas.
I just don't like. Do you know what? I will tell you, I just had a core memory
Oh, go ahead.
reminder of why I haven't watched The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Okay, go.
When I was 13,
Specific.
because it was the first time I went to Greece.
Okay.
And I hadn't met my grandmother before.
Oh,
Actually,
God,
that's a lie. 1 or 2 years prior, she had come to Australia very briefly.
Okay.
And
I wonder if this is going where I think it's going to go. As you were.
okay, so I didn't really know my grandmother, my dad's mum. She had lived in Greece her whole life, and she only came to Australia one time, and I only saw her twice for the visits before she died.
This seems very important. Go on.
Anyway, she decided that she would take me to the movies one night. And I can't remember if we were in Athens or if we were on Crete, where my dad's from.
Okay.
Either way, the movie that we saw was The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
So you have seen it.
But it was overdubbed in the Greek language.
Okay, yeah.
And then
you
there
were
was
in Athens, but yeah, go on.
then there was the English subtitles.
Yeah.
Now, so quick that I couldn't keep up with it. And also in movies, I don't know if they still do this, but they would have like an intermission halfway through.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So like, and I was like, can we go? Because I couldn't understand a single thing because I had to read. I was 13. I was like trying to read quickly and it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I have never watched it.
I love The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, but I love this story even more because I fully thought that you were going to say to me, I'd never seen my grandmother before, and she arrived and she was the fucking Grinch.
Stole Christmas.
And I was like, oh, is she that hairy? Right, okay.
No. Okay. May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
Her name was Maria.
I hope she's in Whoville loving herself sick.
She probably
is. So
Whoville,
for anyone who's seen it, is like they're obsessed with Christmas, and it's like Christmas has vomited, like yacked big time.
That's
all
you.
over there. Yeah, anyway.
You're in Whoville. So, in fact, this is Whoville.
Yes, the pain cave is Whoville at the moment. Anyway, so it's Whoville, right? It's very Christmas-esque, like wreaths, bells, lights, trees. They're all the decorations that she describes people are putting up.
Yes.
And they're Christmas decorations.
Yeah. So she's going through a walk through Whoville. And she comes across a Fey woman. She remembers seeing the day Highburn attacked Velaris.
Yeah, yes. I'm glad she came back to her.
Know.
Yeah, I remember her.
Her name's Racina. And Racina shows Feyre a studio that she works in. And she basically invites Feyre to come and use it whenever she likes.
She invites her to a paint and sip.
Exactly. I totally got those vibes. I was like, this is fabulous.
Yeah, it's a paint and sip, Feyre.
And Farrah's a bit weirded out by this. She's not sure because she's got a love-hate relationship with her artistic capability. And
she's also never really had a friend until more. Let's be honest, when she was mortal, she didn't have time for friends.
Yeah.
Her sisters were cunts.
Yeah.
And so –
whoa.
Sorry. Sorry. And so – and then she became Faye and Tamlin. Faye's not a good friend. I mean, Lucian's, he's a friend, but he's a male has an agenda and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's different. So she's never had a friend like actually invite her to just an entertainment night.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have any purpose.
That's right. And Moore's kind of this weird family, like
just follows Feyre's lead. If she doesn't want to talk, she doesn't talk.
Yeah. But also there's been words lately, so they're probably just a bit fractured. And Anyway, so Racina's fresh off the press.
She is.
Fresh friend. She tells Feyre everyone remembers how she came and fought with them the day Highburn attacked, and she has like this moment where she's expressing gratitude towards Feyre for being like this fierce female leader.
Yeah. I know that she specifically says like we keep away to let you have your privacy, but don't think that we don't remember. And I'm like, oh, that's so lovely that they've all gotten together and decided just to not overwhelm her.
Yeah.
And that just one of them will approach her when the time is right. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not as if Racina's just walked up to her while she's been busy doing something else. Like Feyre was literally standing in a dead-end alley looking at a crumbling building. Like, So, if there's any time, it's now.
Exactly. Speaking of more,
go ahead.
She comes to join Feyre.
Yes, at the market, at the Christmas market.
Yeah, and she's trying to find a present for Amren.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if you had to choose someone to buy for, I would not be choosing Amren because
they all buy for each other.
Oh, I know. Yeah. But like if you had to pick, like if you were doing Secret Santa and you got Amren, you'd be like, oh, fuck.
Who wants to trade?
Absolutely.
Actually, she might be easy. The biggest jewel you can possibly find.
But I don't have that kind of cash.
Rhys does.
Rhys does. Yeah.
Well, so, she asked Moore what she wants as well. And Moore's like, oh, no, I have everything that I need. And honestly, I hate it when people say that when I want them to give me a gift idea and they're just like, oh, no, like it's fine. I'm like, no, get a candle. Everybody loves a candle.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Speaking of candles, that is not your present, but I did purchase your Christmas present last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've already got yours.
Oh, I know you do, but I'm not as organised as you. It is still October, I'll have you know, everybody.
But your birthday's soon too.
Yeah.
I do have to be prepared.
Let's just not be too hasty for me to turn another year older. Thank you very much. I am not Faye.
Not yet.
I wish I was. Not yet. Azrael can bite me, and I've been watching too much.
I don't think he's a vampire.
I've been reading too much Bride. I'm like, bite me.
She doesn't turn into a werewolf when
No,
he bites
but
her.
still, anyway, I like it.
Yeah, okay.
Good. So Rhys and Feyre are going to the Hewn city that night.
To wish them well. I was like, that's the worst excuse ever. Who goes somewhere just to wish them well?
I just don't like
Doesn't
it.
happen in the mortal world.
No.
We don't wish each other well.
But it's a solstice tradition and whatever.
Oh, is it though?
Yeah. Moore has heard that Eris will be there and she wants to see how close.
How chummy they are.
To be fair, it is probably good intel because Moore is still like,
What?
fucking hate you, but are you on the level of...
She's the steward of the Hewn City, so I can understand that there's a professional interest in what they're doing, but also a personal interest as well.
Yeah.
What I find completely unrelatable though is that they're not leaving for another few hours. So Farrah's like, oh, I'll just go home and read a book. No. No. I can't relate. I would never go home and just read I'd be asleep. I'm sorry, I'm not going to the Hewn City tonight.
That's absolutely right.
I'd just fall asleep.
Yeah. Reading is bedtime. Otherwise, if there's reading, there's nothing else.
That's right. Yeah. It's the end.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me after
time.
I've been reading. I'm not on this planet anymore. No. I'm in another one and I need at least half an hour of not reading to get back into this world.
Yeah. I am in the closet with Lo curled up next to me currently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Rhys arrives home, Randy AF, of course.
Yeah.
And she goes to make him something to eat because he looks like he's about to faint.
He's not wanting something to eat, Feyre.
He is.
Well, he's not wanting food to eat, Feyre.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like, you're fussing, stop that. And she's like, oh, well, you fuss over far more trivial things. And I love it when we talk about cycles because it means pregnancy. Doesn't it?
Do you love a pregnancy trope?
I love a little pregnancy trope.
Oh, this is why you're such a Hermione fan.
Yeah, I love a pregnancy trope. And anytime we talk about cycles, that's the only reason authors talk about it.
Yeah.
Is because they're setting us up for pregnancy and I fucking love it. Anyway.
Okay, I'm of the opposite opinion.
Are you?
Yeah.
Don't love it?
No, I want to know what everyone else thinks though. So A, do you like pregnancy? B, are you on Camp Maria?
Actually, let me clarify. I don't like pregnancy. I like other people being pregnant, but not me.
Oh, remind me to take my parsley home.
Oh, absolutely, yes. It's been here for a week. I don't want it anymore, okay?
Have you had a little nibble?
No. That parsley is, I'm not touching it. Right. Now, it turns out the cycle is every 6 months and it's absolute agony, which, I mean, we can all relate.
Sorry, I wish my cycle was only 6 months.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I wish it was absolute agony.
No, it is. I've got endo. It is agony.
Yeah. Well, imagine if it was only every 6 months. That would be so much better.
Poor Feyre, though.
Yeah. So anyway, the healers can do little, more can do little but sympathise and offer ginger tea. And I was like, well, that translates through worlds, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
A bit of ginger tea. I wonder if she's got a rechargeable hot water bottle like I do.
Maybe. A solstice gift. Done.
Writing the list now.
This is how I'm so organised.
Talk it through.
Talk it. If someone says something, I'm like, gift. Write that down. You should see the notes app on my phone.
Oh, look, I can only imagine.
Yeah. So Rhys says, you were thrashing on the bed like someone gutted you. And I was like, well, you wouldn't fucking know, Rhys. It's the only time that someone is bleeding and it's the thing that people are not talking about.
Yeah, exactly right.
So if Simon had his arm ripped off and it was shooting blood
for a week,
everyone would be talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to you?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
know.
Do you need some pain relief?
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yes. Yeah.
Our organ bleeds every month.
Yeah. Interestingly, so many little things here. Rhys reminds her, Rhys says that he has been taking the contraceptive brew. And I thought, well, when did that conversation happen? Because at the cabin, she said she'd keep taking her contraceptive tea. So now they've swapped around, which is interesting. Again, pregnancy.
But I feel like Rhys has probably been taking it for 50 fucking years.
Well, yeah, true. That's very true. Feyres says, I sometimes wondered if waiting until I was ready for children might wind up biting me in the ass. And it reminded me of someone else I know who also waited to have children, and it's also biting her in the ass.
I didn't wait. I was married to the wrong fucking person.
Oh, dear. Anyway, so I commiserate with you and Feyre in this instance. Rhys has not forgotten the bone carver's vision.
No.
But he's also not brought it up, bless him.
I mean, it was too freaky to be brought up because it could be just smoke and mirrors.
It could be. That's very true. And they'll never know because he's dead.
Yes.
So Feyre has explained the cycles to her sisters too. And Nesta just stared at her the entire time, which is off-putting enough. But then Elaine was muttering about the inappropriateness of such things. And I'm like, Jesus, Elaine. Jesus.
Go back to your daisies, you douchebag.
Honestly, like if you can't talk about it amongst women.
Sisters.
Who can you talk to about it?
Yeah.
You know?
She's such a prude.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to learn.
Oh, yeah.
She gonna learn.
She gonna learn.
I have a new theory about her relationship, which I'll share next episode, just so you're aware.
Roger.
So Feyre tells Rhys that she was invited to the paint and sip, and he was like, "We'll go," and she's like, "Oh, but no, like people need housing and warm coats and hot chocolate and all the other things that they need."
Oh, Feyre.
And it feels quite trivial to be painting whilst they're still repairing from the attack in Velaris and, her normal trauma excuses. So
Yeah. I think that she just has a real problem putting herself first.
yeah.
Like, it's her mode of operation. She has sacrificed herself since she was very small.
Yeah.
And she thinks she's insignificant. And this is just that behaviour continuing on.
Yeah. Yeah. Heavily agree. So Moore knocks – no, sorry. They share a touching thought for thought game, tell me what you're thinking and I'll tell you. And and then things get either out of or rather in hand. So it's nice, isn't it? Moore knocks on the door at exactly the wrong moment and says, just so you're aware, we have to go soon and it takes you 2 hours to get dressed, and I'm not talking about Feyre.
I feel like they need to start putting a sock on the door.
Yeah.
Or something.
Like, what is Elaine hearing? Down, she's still with them.
She's probably got like garden earmuffs on.
Maybe, yeah.
Because she doesn't probably come inside much. She's tending
to the frozen garden.
Yeah.
At Christmas.
I did actually stand by on the garden for 1 second.
Okay.
You know how it says that she's preparing the garden for winter? Can you not just bewitch the fucking garden to be season round deliciousness?
It's the blood and bone. It's got to be done by hand.
But you could have a greenhouse and it could be spring inside the greenhouse all the fucking time.
Yeah, it could. And this is why Elaine is dumb.
Anyway, as you were.
So Rhys decides to take an icy cold bath to wear off the randiness. And my question is, does that work?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've never had to do that.
No, not for women.
For men? Okay, so what?
Yeah, there's certain things that stick out of the body that need to be like flaccid in order to get dressed for an occasion.
I can't believe you just said flaccid on here.
It's not the worst thing I've said on here.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't quite understand how ice makes that occur.
Because, this is pathophysiology of vasculature now.
Receiving.
So you know how similarly when you're hypothermic that everything kind of shuts down.
Yes.
So you end up just going like very
Okay.
everything's
Yeah.
slow.
No, I'm with you now. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm with you now.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do women do?
Why are you asking me?
Because I don't know.
Well, I don't have to get myself.
Thank you for a beautiful shift. That's it for this episode of the Night Shift Court podcast.
Join us next week for the continuation of ACOTAR's Book 4, A Court of Frost and Starlight.
Whichever platform you're listening on, we would so appreciate it if you could give us a 5-star review. It helps our podcast grow.
You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok at The Night Shift Court.